Last time on Panthers.com, we talked about the Panthers quarterbacks, but they certainly have a lot of options of guys to hand the ball to. When we talk about running back by committee, the Panthers have it down pat. Now, number one on that list has to be Jonathan Stewart, who came off a career year last year, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of options at running back, but it does start with Jonathan Stewart. Hard to believe last year was his first year as a full-time starter. I mean, this is a guy that's accomplished a lot in this league already. He parlayed that into his first Pro Bowl nod of his career. Easily would have had 1,000 yards. The Panthers took it easy the last 3 games of the season with a foot injury, just short of a 1,000-yard season at that point. I mean, he was really the tone setter for this offense throughout, including the way he kicked off the playoffs. As we remember against Seattle, that first play of the postseason really set the tone for the playoffs.
Well, talk about setting the tone. Mike Tolbert, he's a fullback, but, you know, Tolbert will tell you he has sweet feet. And anytime he gets to run that ball, he's going to show off a little bit. But he is such a tone setter for this team, isn't he, Max?
He is. You know, he and Jonathan work together to form one of those really unique tandems at running back in this league. Of course, Mike plays some fullback as well, also been known to play a little bit of tight end. Really, the Panthers use him in a variety of different ways. And he's one of those unique players who has got the type of build that when he gets low and comes through the line of scrimmage, he is really difficult to bring down, but he also has those nimble feet to make some plays out on the edge. The Panthers use him in the passing game as well. So Tolbert continuing to play at a very high level this late stage in his career, and he's kind of trying to still prove that he can be that kind of Pro Bowl caliber player.
Well, we talk about committee and a lot of guys who backed him up. Fozzie Whitaker, what he's done for this team speaks for itself. I want you guys to talk about 2 other guys, Cameron Artis-Payne and Brandon Wecker. Both guys kind of waited in the wings last year, but this year they want to make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was possible they'd have a bigger role last year, too, particularly Artis-Payne, the draft pick last year. But Jonathan Stewart was so reliable, he was able to avoid the injury bug. You certainly don't hope that does not happen this year to Jonathan. But either way, I see Cameron Artis-Payne getting more carries this year, getting more of an opportunity to show what he can do. Improved his condition in the offseason, dropped about 10 pounds, looks a lot better even than last year during OTAs. And then Brandon Wecker right there on his heels is the undrafted guy last year that, you know, he won a spot on the roster. They couldn't keep this guy off the roster, and now it'll be interesting to see how much they get on the field come game day.
And you've seen these guys, Max, during OTAs just really shine.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the really compelling storylines to watch as we move forward is how much is the gap between Stewart and these other backs close? Because these young running backs coming in last year had a lot to learn. There's a lot to pick up in this offense. Now they've got a year through it. They're more confident. They're more comfortable. And we know Stewart can be a workhorse. But the Panthers, you'd think, would like the option to be able to use some of these other guys a little bit more to keep him fresh down the stretch of the season. We'll see if they can prove to the coaches that they're deserving of it.
Well, that's running backs in the picture there. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk about wide receivers, and there's a lot to talk about. We might have to expand this segment coming up here on Panthers.com.